Covering news that matters. Fox 23 News at 5:30 starts right now.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 5:30. I'm Morgan Martin.
And I'm Shay Rozzi. Tonight, a tribute to a Navy veteran from Glenpool so many of you have come to know and love.
It all started when Allen Krueger asked Tulsa's investigative reporter Janna Clark to help him find a picture of his birth father. Janna found the picture and connected Allen with family he never knew he had.
We told you Allen recently lost his battle with cancer. Now Janna shows us how the military is honoring his memory.
That's all I know.
It all started more than a year ago when veteran Allen Krueger wrote me a letter asking for one thing, a photo of the father he never met.
There's something missing. Then I said to myself, I should like to see a picture of my father. I'm not asking much, just a picture.
Allen wrote, "This is a wish and a dream."
Because I don't know how much time I have left. You don't know when your time comes, it comes.
Turns out on Allen's birth certificate, his father's first name wasn't right. When Allen was 13 years old, his family told him that his father died in the Korean War. That wasn't right either.
Why was I told he was killed in the Korean War? I'll never know the answer to that.
After searching for months, I thought I'd found the right person, but had to be sure.
Wow. What a mystery. My whole life was in here.
I sent off Allen's DNA, and after his results came back, I tracked down a family member who gave me photos. I could finally show Allen what his birth father looked like, Daryl Russell Lewis.
Here's your father.
Wow. That's an old picture. That's Dad. It's amazing. It's amazing. You look like he would have been a good father. 72 years. And now it comes.
This whole time, Allen had been fighting an aggressive stage 3 lung cancer. That's what prompted him to find his dad.
I'm diagnosed with this cancer, which is a shock to me. I didn't expect it. I said, I was laying in my bed, I got to do something.
All these years go by and you don't try to find your dad, and then all of a sudden,
it just hits me.
After months of radiation treatments, Allen rang the bell.
When my radiation was all done, I was able to ring the bell, and everybody clapped. Yeah, that was kind of neat.
He was healthy enough to go see his daughter and grandkids in Texas. He hadn't seen his daughter Amy in 9 years. Hi, Dad. Allen showed Amy all of the photos he now had of his dad, her grandpa.
You know him better than anybody. Being able to find this information, what do you think it's done for him?
Oh, it's just, I think he can finally now have a peace of mind of who his dad is. And that's all he wanted. And like he said, he just wanted a tiny little picture, is what he always says. And he got more than that. So I think he's happy.
I said, I am very happy.
On that trip, Allen also met his brother Tim for the first time.
Oh, 70 years. Wow, you're a tall guy.
A brother he didn't know he had.
Tell me what it was like when you two got to see each other for the first time.
We hugged and shook hands. So Allen stuck his hand out to shake my hand, and I said, after this many years, you're getting much more than a handshake. So it was something I needed. Hopefully Allen did too.
They talked about their father and figured out how he must have met Allen's mother.
But now, after all these years it's came together, I'm very happy. And I'm glad that you filled in the pieces of the puzzle. And Allen asked for one little, I remember that plain as day, the first video interview, he said he wanted one little picture of his father. So from that one request that Allen had, he's got much more from that. And hopefully he's happy with all that. Oh, yes.
Not long after that trip, in November, I heard from Allen's family that he was in the hospital. I went to this room to see Allen on Veterans Day. His cancer had spread. The doctors told him there was nothing they could do. The VA put Allen on hospice care.
When your days are going to be up, I know I ain't going to get hit by a car. I know I ain't going to get shot.
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You already know where your deathbed is. You ain't gonna fly away in a plane and crash. So this is it. You're just gonna pass on when you pass on.
Allen told me he wasn't afraid to die.
Nah. Well, to a point I am, you know. I like to have a little bit more than this. A little bit more. But they said, this is it. This is it. You're not going nowhere. We're going to take care of you as long as we can. Or as long as God lets us. That's it. You're in God's hands now.
I told Alan how much our Fox 23 viewers have come to care about him as they watched his stories over the past year. And he told me he does get recognized.
It's always Walmart. And a gas station person. The VA.
We talked about what he and I had worked on the past year, what he called a long shot, finding his father.
It's a long shot, but it's something I got to do. I didn't think we'd get it done, but you did. I didn't know where to start.
Alan wished he would have looked for his dad sooner.
I wish I would have known 50 years ago. Would have been able to see him, because I was fine 50 years ago.
He told me he often wonders why his family told him his father died in the Korean War.
Still don't understand that. Why was I told he was killed in the Korean? Why? Come out and tell me the truth. Maybe that's what they wanted to tell me.
Alan told me he believes in heaven and hopes to see his family, like his mother again, and his daughter who passed away.
They're all in good places, I believe. And I just feel I'm rich.
And he wants to meet for the first time his father.
Oh, it'd be nice.
Alan's daughter Amy came to visit, and after she left, Alan told family he was going to die the Friday after Thanksgiving. Alan passed away early that Friday morning. On December 11th, the military honored Alan in this ceremony at Fort Gibson National Cemetery. Just like his father, Alan served in the Navy.
I never met my father, but we had one thing in common. We both served in the United States Navy.
Yes.
So that's good. That's good to know. Thank you.
Alan's brother from Glenpool, Terrell Ogilvie, accepted a folded American flag in Alan's honor.
He was proud of his country. He was proud of the Navy. He was always talking about the Navy.
Terrell took care of Alan as he fought cancer and says the search for Alan's father was a welcome distraction.
You gave him a hope. There was a hope for something else that got his mind off of what he was going through.
What do I got to lose? What do I got to lose?
Every time I took him to the treatments, that's all he talked about was his dad's photo. Oh, you think we'll ever find him? You think she'll make it? I don't think she'll make it. It'll be a long shot. I said, no, give it a chance. She knows what she's doing. She'll find him. And then you did.
And when Alan finally saw a photo of his father,
I think he was overjoyed. I mean, it helped him a lot on closure for his life. He was always wanting to know. That made his day. That made his life.
On Alan's obituary, Terrell could put down Alan's father's name, Darrell Lewis.
I'm glad it was right. Yeah. The name was right.
Boy, he looks a little like me, wouldn't you think now? Wow, this is really something.
He just was a simple guy. This guy was just a guy that was fun, and he had all these little funny things to say, but you'll always remember that.
Wow.
It's okay to cry. I think when we cry, we're celebrating somebody. It's a happiness. It's a sadness for us, but we know where he's at.
God has a plan for all of us. I believe that.
I know the family appreciates what y'all have done.
I didn't expect any of this, Janna.
This has been really important to you.
Very important. I'll be thinking about this probably the rest of my life.
He will be remembered more than any of us because of what you did for finding his dad and just the goofiness that he was and people that he talked to. He talked about everything. He didn't know a stranger. I'm going to miss him.
Covering news that matters, Janna Clark, Fox 23 News.